Alright guys, we are here for round 3. I'm recording this immediately after getting unfortunately stomped by Blue-Red Prowess. That might be the first time I've ever actually lost a match to that deck, believe it or not. I know some Titan players say that Blue-Red Prowess is an awful matchup, possibly even as bad as Mono-Red Prowess, but I found the opposite to be true, especially when you're playing Arboreal Grazer and your deck. But regardless, if you haven't seen that match, it's very interesting. So go ahead and check that out, match 2 of this league. But for now, we are here to play match 3, where hopefully we can secure this 2-1 record. No pressure, just aspirations, as you might say. So I will see you guys in the games. Alright, we are in the match. On the play again. Come on. You know you want to put us on the play, Magic Online. On the play. On the play. Nope, definitely on the draw. Magic Online said, "We are not having any of that, sir." Well, this hand is very similar to one I kept in the last match with a bunch of 3-drops and double explore and some lands. I'm going to keep it just like I did last time. It was kind of slow then, to be honest, but I'm a sucker for explore. What can I say? Ooh, not turn 1 Arbor Elf. Anything but that. Oh no. Alright, let's, Yeah, I think we just have to play out the recovery here. I guess, actually, if our opponent has turn 2 Blood Moon here, we're gonna need to have Vesuva this forest, so that's what I'm gonna go for instead. Since if you Vesuva forest before a Blood Moon comes down, then you get to maintain your basic forest in play, as it were. But, however, if the Blood Moon comes down before you get your Vesuva in play, then you'll just have a Sad Mountain, so we don't like Sad Mountains here. Our opponent must be casting some Planeswalkers here. Intriguing. Simian Spirit Guide. Oh no. What? Elder Gargaroth on turn 2? How did that even happen? Double Simian Spirit Guide, huh? Intriguing. Well, let's cast our turn to explore and see how that treats us. Another explore. Oh man. Well, if our opponent has a Stone Rain, then we'll be really sad for playing this Growth Chamber, and if they have a Blood Moon as well. I think they would have played a Blood Moon here, actually, if they had it, though. I'm not sure, though. Let's just play out the Growth Chamber so we can double explore this upcoming turn. Or potentially Dryad into explore if we draw an untapped land. We'll see. Let me know in the comments, have you ever seen a turn 2 Elder Gargaroth before? We'd be in really bad shape if this was a Glorybringer. We're still not in great shape here, considering this is in fact an Elder Gargaroth, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we can beat that, to be honest. If we can, it probably involves a Primeval Titan and a Valakut, and a Dryad in play. We're not too far from Titan mana here, though, so we'll see what happens. We got some Planeswalker mana floated here. Is this a Nahiri? Yep, Nahiri the Harbinger. It's going to be a 4-mana walker that can exile tapped enchantments. Oh, can exile any enchantment. It's just target enchantment, tapped artifact, or tapped creature. So if we play our Dryad, that can just get eaten up by a Nahiri minus, which is sad. The +2 is discard a card, or you may discard a card, and if you do, you draw a card. Its -8 is search for a creature and put it into play. Yeah. Well, there's our Primeval Titan. I think we're just double exploring here, though, sadly. We can't just let our opponent Nahiri away all of our hopes. Alright, another land is pretty nice. Karn. Don't know if that does anything. So we'll play our Bala, and we'll play our land, and we'll pass it back. If we draw literally any other land that is not one of the things that's already in play, then we'll be able to trigger Field. I don't know if that'll be good enough, as our opponent will be getting an Emrakul into play, most likely, off of this Nahiri. Our opponent is on the fast and busted track over here. I'm not really sure how this Ridden 6 got in the graveyard. I guess that was a Nahiri activation, perhaps? They drew and discarded it. So they have another Gargaroth. Not great news, but not much can be done about that. Come on. Differently named land. That mightn't even be good enough, but differently named land. Let's go. Not quite, deck. Not quite. Huh. I don't think there's anything in our Karn word that saves us here either. I guess we can get Engineered Explosives for 0, although we won't be able to block. I guess we could play Dryad, but then they just minus on the Dryad and attack us with Gargaroth and we're dead, so I think there's nothing we can do here. Alternatively, we could get Field and Gruul Turf and pick up the ball again. We'd have 1, 2, 3, 4 different names, so we wouldn't be able to get back a Windswept Heath anyways. Yeah, there's nothing we can do this game. Our opponent was doing things a little too fast for us. Alright, well, let's go to game 2. We definitely want these Dismembers. We probably want Reclamation Sage and Beast Within. Sky Sovereign stays on the board. Interestingly enough, Karn minusing for explosives could be relevant here. Ideally, you'd have an explosives for your opponent's Arbor Elves and Utopia Sprawls and stuff very early, but especially with only one copy, that's unlikely to happen. I'd rather be able to minus Karn for an answer to Blood Moon, I think. Negates could be good against our opponent, because they do counter Blood Moon and also Planeswalkers. Like Nahiri. I don't know if that's where we want to be, though, especially since Negate becomes deadened by Blood Moon, but we'll see where it takes us. I'm not sure if playing a 3-mana creature on turn 2 is even good here. We might want to trim Grazers for that reason, but it could be wrong. I don't know. Our opponent's deck is kind of all over the place. It's hard to play around. I think because of the presence of Nahiri, we need to trim on Explorers because we have to be able to answer Nahiri in just a few turns, and Explorer's kind of slow for that, so we can trim down a couple of Explorers. Can possibly trim down a Recovery. I think that getting stuff back from our graveyard is not going to be all that relevant, even though it is an additional land. Can trim Bojuka Bog, as it's likely to be irrelevant. You can trim a Summoner's Pact, so that we don't get punked out by a Blood Moon the turn after we cast our Summoner's Pact. I think we can trim at least one Grazer. Maybe we just trim both Explorers. That could be kind of crazy, though, against our Ponza opponent. Explorer also allows us to turn 3 a Karn, but yeah, I don't know about that. So does Grazer. Let's just trim the Explorers and go with it. And if the negates seem to be particularly awful, and we still happen to manage to win game 2, then we can switch the negates for Explorers. Let's just switch the negates for Explorers right now. Or not. Never mind. Didn't want to do it in the first place. You have to be on the play. Get a hand that is extremely slow. We'll mulligan. We have another hand that's interesting. It's not the best, but it's not the worst. Definitely seen worse. We have a Vesuva to copy our opponent's basic force to play around Blood Moon. We are naturally close to getting Valakut going here. I guess we keep. It's not clear that this is particularly good for us, though. And we could bottom the Fountain, I suppose, since our Breeding Pool is already an untapped source for us. Yeah, I guess that's going to be the play. And we'll play out a Valakut on 1. A Grazer would be fine here, so we could potentially get a Karn going on turn 3. Amulet would be just fine as well. Opponent Utopia Sprawls on 1. It's less scary than just playing Arbor Elf on 1, because if they played Elf into Utopia Sprawl, they would have 4 mana on turn 2, so they must not have access to that, which is good to know. Or, I guess more correctly, I should say, it's good to not run into. Our opponent could have had that. Keith to fetch a basic land. They named the color white with their Sprawl. I'm not sure if I am inclined to believe that our opponent actually is on Blood Moon. But, regardless, it plays around Blood Moon all the same to play out the Vesuva here, and it gets a tap land out of the way, so let's just do this. We can fetch for a basic Snow Forest here and play Dryad this upcoming turn, so I am fearful that this is way too slow, though. Of course, if we just draw a Titan here and can kill them with Valakut triggers the turn after we play this Dryad, then they'll be totally fine. Had it the whole time, you know? Their opponent could pitch a Spirit Guide and have a Nahiri on their turn 3. Turn 2? I don't know what turn this is for them. We were on the play, right? So this is their turn 2. Choosing red for this Utopia Sprawl. So I suppose they could have Blood Moon. If they do, they don't play it. Alright, let's get the Snow Forest to play around Blood Moon here. And we'll slam this Dryad. I think I'm inclined to slam Grazer here too, anyways. Take the 2 damage from our Breeding Pool. Just to speed up our mana as much as possible. And I am going to pick up the Breeding Pool so we have an untapped source here for Titan this upcoming turn if we draw it. We'll pass it back. We can also Karn for coding, and coding to deactivate one of our opponent's lands this upcoming turn. Stomp us. Somehow, I'm not very worried about that. I'm not sure what our opponent has here. They've been doing nothing for a while. If they have a Glorybringer, that would be bad news, but the Nahiri is a little annoying, but not the worst. Klothys is totally fine. Do we still have our explosives in the board? We do. So we can Karn for explosives on these sprawls here. I am kind of into that. Not gonna lie, I kind of like the sound of that. We can also Karn for Pithing Needle, not really something I'm interested in. I guess explosives here. We have exactly 5, 6, 7 mana. That's enough to Karn and explosives and blow it up. We'd have to say goodbye to our Grazer, but I think we can deal. We have to take the damage from this Breeding Pool, but again, I think we can deal. So, let's send a Valakut trigger upstairs. Always yes. Always yield. Let's play out this Karn here. Alright, deck. This tapping thing is getting a little annoying. These lands don't need all these abilities. They just don't. Alright, well, a minus. Definitely getting rewarded for leaving the explosives in the board here. So, here's explosives on 1. Cutting our opponent's mana production over there. Let's just use the W key to tap for whatever the very first color is that our lands can tap for. And let's swing at them. Get some damage through. I don't think our opponent's going to have a haste threat of any sort here. We have double basic land here to play around our opponent's Blood Moon if they have it, so we could still cast a Titan if we draw it. And we're about to minus Karn for a Wormcoil Engine regardless, so I suppose it actually makes some sense to minus for the boat. Sky Sovereign. I don't know if that would be better than just getting Wormcoil, though, because Wormcoil would let us get out of range of this Klothys very easily. Depends on if our opponent plays a creature here. If they play a mana creature, then I'm kind of inclined to just get Sky Sovereign, but we'll see. I must say, our position is looking a lot better from here. This is most likely a Gargaroth. Oh, they have their own Karn. Well, I guess we're not getting Sky Sovereign. Although, I guess Sky Sovereign would actually kill our opponent's Karn. That's interesting. Getting their own Pithing Needle. Well, now we can't minus Karn at all. That's kind of sad. Alright, Titan off the top. Titan off top. Let's go. That's not Titan. Alright, well, we're clocking Karn, the Great Creator. And passing it back. Don't even have a land drop here to finish off the Karn. Sad. Our opponent is a long ways away from having Klothys active, though. This is less than 7. Yeah, they're... I mean, I guess it's really 5 since it counts for 2 for itself. So they need 5 mana pips to get Klothys into an active creature here. Bone Crusher Giant. We can dismember that. Arbor Elf. That's annoying because it gives our opponent something to protect their Karn with. If we draw any land, then we'll be able to finally deal with this stupid Karn. Let's go to our opponent's instep. Float our bounce land for black, because why wouldn't a bounce land be able to tap for a black mana? And let's kill this giant. I suppose if we do draw a land, it would be better to Valcut away the giant, but I think I'm willing to live dangerously here. We'll take the damage from the giant, as this is the thing that's more likely to clock. Ooh, Bala Recovery. I guess it's just a land. We can't get back explosives because our opponent's Karn will just deactivate our explosives. So let's do this. If our opponent has Dismember exactly, then killing the Arbor Elf will detriment us here, but I think it's better to clear our opponent's board as much as possible, so... We see the Bala coming in clutch here. Oh, we even get to do something in our second... No, we don't get to do anything in our second main phase, because the needle is still there. Alright, we could Ghost Quarter ourselves and to trigger a Valakut. That's somewhat interesting. Also, I feel obligated to mention, over the past couple turns, we've been ignoring it, but a Titan would be lethal. So, a Titan off the top deck, that would be very nice. Mages of the Moon that we can kill. Oh, just casting a Spirit Guide. You got it. You got it. Titan. No, deck. No, no, no. I don't think you got the memo. That is not a Primeval Titan. Alright. We're doing it the hard way. I just realized we were clocking our opponent's Karn, but their Karn was deactivated with the Pithing Needle. We might have been punting super hard. I guess this is going to benefit us in the long run if we are able to get a Rex Sage or a Beast Within on this Pithing Needle. Then we'll be able to immediately minus Karn for Wormcoil and take over from there, but kind of an awkward situation. Maybe we would have been winning this game much more easily if we had been clocking our opponent this whole time instead of their Karn, but could be wrong. Pithing Needle does go both ways, so... Oopsies. Did not think about it. We're at 5 now. Now we just have to draw a Titan. If we don't draw a Titan, we're probably dead. Okay. Let's hope our opponent doesn't have a Bolt. Here's a creature. Because, oh, why not? And we'll swing. I guess... Nah. I was gonna say, I guess we could try to play around Bloodbraid Elf or something by holding back the Dryad, but whatever. Alright, opponent, do not bolt us. Don't do it. Another hardcast Simeon. That's fine. Okay. Come on. Channel your energy at home, guys. I need this. Okay, I don't need it. I would really like to top deck this Titan off the top. You know what to do. Send your energy. Come on, come on, come on, come on. No whammies, Zan. Oh my goodness, that is not a Titan. Awkward. Alright, well. We'll send in a Dryad. Leaving back 2 blockers here. Although, I suppose anything that would kill one of our creatures would probably kill us now, but whatever. I'm not winning the Titan lottery this game. Please just give us one more turn, opponent. One more turn. That's all I'm asking for. Nothing crazy. Just one more turn. Alright, land. Okay, good. This is good. Alright. Maybe you didn't understand me last time, people of the YouTube viewership. Primeval Titan is the card. Primeval Titan. Alright? Deck, you too. Primeval Titan. Come on. Go! That is not Primeval Titan. Well, we gotta do the only respectful thing. They got us. They got us. Hold on. You know, the Titan's on top. No? Bounce land? Actually, bounce land probably would have killed them with the Valcut in play. Maybe I wasn't asking for the right things here. Well, that was interesting. A very exciting match at the very least. Surprise, surprise. Ponza ain't a good matchup at all. We didn't even run into a Blood Moon in that second game. Oh well. Oh well. Anyways, I enjoyed that significantly, despite the fact that we lost, and I hope that you enjoyed it as well. Still loving this whole Karn thing, and I'm glad that leaving the explosives on the board paid off for us there. It definitely was paving the way to our potential victory in Game 2, so definitely interesting stuff there. Let me know what you think about the deck. Do you enjoy watching the content with Karn the Great Creator? Would you rather that I just never put this card in my deck ever again and just leave it be? It's not the truth in Amulet. I'm sorry to tell you, but Karn is hella fun to play. It is a very nice card, and I can understand why you wouldn't play it, because I was probably not playing it for a very long time for the same reason that you would not be playing it. That's because it costs an arm and a leg on MTGO. But all I can say is if you have the ability and freedom to get Karn the Great Creators, I doubt that you'll be disappointed. But, I mean, that's a lot of talk for a person that's currently 1-2 in their league with Karn the Great Creator, so anyways, take everything that I say with a grain of salt. I am no expert. I am just a dude who plays Amulet content on YouTube for fun and for you. And if you do enjoy my content from this random dude who gave his opinion when literally nobody asked, leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I will see you guys for the next match. This is Red Face Menace, signing off.